Hello, everybody, and oh, it's so lovely to see you all. I can't quite believe it's a year since I stood on this stage and talked about my progress so far. I told a story entitled The Little Me and how taking leaps of faith had enabled me to grow and expand and be the person that I know I can be. Today, I've come to tell you a different story. It's an update as such. If you didn't hear it last year, you'll just have the story now. But first of all, I just it would really help me to understand how you're feeling about something, and I wonder if you wouldn't mind showing a hand if you currently have a dream, if you have a goal you're aiming for, if you have an intention that you've set. Just raise your hand for me. Wow. No surprise considering the event that you're at and the community that you're in. You're entrepreneurial, and I expected that to be the case. Just leave your hands there for a moment, thanks. Now, can you leave your hand high if you believe, really believe, that that goal, that dream you have, can be yours? Wow, look at that! What belief there is in the audience. I love that. Similarly, some hands fell. That's okay. My hand has fallen in the past. And I wanted to talk to you today about belief and my story around my level of belief and the action I took to get me to where I am now. So, thank you for your participation, and I wish you all the very best, every single one of you, in succeeding at attaining and reaching your goals and having the dream in your life. I'd like to take you now back to around 2009 when I was a coach. I am a coach. I have a business called Compass Life Coaching, and I'd been coaching women in small business for around 7, 8 years at the time. Earning around 50, £60 a session and doing that alongside a full time job. Loving what I was doing in my coaching practice, the results my clients were getting were really quite phenomenal, actually, and surprised me. But I knew I had a skill set. I knew I worked intuitively with people and I could really help them reach their potential. The passion I had for that just would not go away. And I sat and I thought, this is not good enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not reaching enough people. And it's all a bit sporadic and all over the place. And I want something different. And I don't know if you've been in this place, or perhaps this is where you are, where your passion is there, but you haven't quite got everything in the container that you need to get it all lined up and working smoothly and giving you the results that you want. I worked on my own quite a lot. I didn't have a really good support network. I was studying this and studying that and trying to put this in place and put that in place. And the results were like that. They were all over the place. My input was all over the place, and so were the results. I worked with a coach at the time who, amazing lady, who enabled me to really vision, to really understand what it felt like to create what it was I really wanted. Not all this sporadic chaos. I wanted order. I wanted some security in knowing that if I did certain things would come back to me. A model. That's what I needed. I was a model. But you've got to start somewhere, and I had to start with the dream. So I built myself a vision board. Some of you may have done that. If you haven't, I would suggest it's great fun. Get yourself some magazines, scissors, and glue, big piece of paper, and just bash out what it is that represents your dream. You can get them online now too. But some way or another, anchor yourself into that dream. I also wrote mine out in words, and I titled it Pink and Silver. In this dream, I was the owner of a centre of excellence. And at the time, I visualised that as a house, a building. But in this centre of excellence, it would be a centre for women to come through the doors with their hopes and desires, challenges, pain, and know that whilst they spent time in the centre of excellence, they would develop and grow and change. And when they left, with God's grace, they will achieve what they wanted to achieve. It still is my passion now to work in that way. So I wrote this goal, and there were some specifics in it, which I need to tell you about because it's important. I had in my goal, I had a marketing plan that was effective and efficient and was bringing people to me regularly. I had regular income. I had people on the work on the books for 6 months at least. I was working with people I could trust. I was surrounded by a community that loved me and I loved them. I was working with associates who would support me and help me in my aims. And outside this building, in this dream, I was standing wearing a pink Chanel jacket, and I had a silver Jaguar car, both of which were measures of success in my mind at the time, because we have material things that measure our success as well as our emotional status, all mixed up, and they were mine. So I put the vision board up in my office, and I put the written words underneath the Buddha that I have, and I kind of created this. Yes, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this. 2 years later, I decorated my office, moved it all away and packed it away. It wasn't that I didn't still want that, but I wasn't giving it focus and attention particularly, and it got packed away. Fast forward now to 2012, I'm at Dan Bradbury's conference. He's contribution conference actually, and out in the foyer there was a stand for damsels in success, very much like the one at the back of the room, and manning that stand, womaning that stand was Michelle Clark, and she spoke to me about what damsels in success was all about, the philosophy behind it, the results they were getting with their members. And I just thought, wow, I've come home. This is what I've been looking for. So intuitively, as we do sometimes, I didn't really think about the logic of it. I thought, this is what I want, this. I need this in my life right now. And I signed and I joined up there and then. And I went to a St Albans group, which is near me in Stevenage. Been going for over 8 months or so. We, at the time, our director had resigned and we were being looked after by somebody else. So Damsels in Success were looking for a new leader. At Dan Bradbury's conference, I have to say that Michelle did plant a seed in my head and said, well, if you haven't got a group near you, why don't you start your own? And I had been leading some networking groups, and I, at the time, wasn't sure if I really wanted to do that. I wanted to concentrate on me. I needed some mentors and coaches and people I could look up to so I could learn and grow my business in the way I wanted. So it didn't really strike a bell, but, you know, seeds have a way of growing, don't they? Okay, so I'm a member, and then one day I get a Lucy Bradbury email that says, have you thought about being a leader? Do you want to come on our Discovery Day, which we now call our License to Lead Day, and find out what it's all about and see if it's for you? And again, intuitively, I filled out my details and submitted the button, and off it went. Long story short, I need to fast you forward again. September 2013. I launched my own group in Stevenage. Doing all that, just being a part of something that gave me the things I'd wished for in my dream, being in a community of people I could trust, being supported and held safe while I grew and expanded in a way that I could then serve others, that met my passion, that really met my passion. So I launched in September, and this year's been a bit of a whirlwind really, but I want to tell you about it because there are some milestones in there that are very important. launching being one of them. I grew my group over the year to 30 members, which was absolutely gorgeous to think that 30 members had come into the doors of my centre of excellence with their dreams and their challenges and their pains, and were going out of that door every month with ways in which to integrate new learning and new thinking into their life. Halfway through the year, we have an awards ceremony, a Women Inspiring Women awards ceremony, and my peers, my really gorgeous, lovely, adorable directors who I work with closely all the time, voted me Director of the Year. Little me. Okay. So that's a big milestone. Enjoyed it immensely, and my belief in myself just grew and expanded again. Then I worked with a gorgeous mentor who held me safe in helping me to launch my first Inner Circle, a mastermind group. High-end product, never sold anything at that rate before, and of course your self-belief comes into question again. So again, I'm back in the, do I believe I can have this? Yes, you can. Take steps, get help, get support, but get there. And I did. I launched my Inner Circle group. That month I earned £15,000 in a month. Little me. Later on in the year, I had the pleasure of mentoring others. I now mentor new directors who are launching their groups in other towns and cities in the UK. That gives me immense joy. Immense joy. And one day I was thinking, hey, hang on a minute. That goal I wrote in 2009, let me go back to that. And, I had it all. Not in a way I'd visualised it, because the universe has a way of delivering things to you in a way that you don't necessarily know, because we're not in control of anything, are we? But we have to take action to get what we want. And I looked at this thing and I thought, yes, I have my centre of excellence. I have those gorgeous women coming in my doors every month. I have the opportunity to mentor and coach and intuitively and spiritually support them through their growth and expansion, whilst all the time I am continuing to grow and expand. So I invite you to stay in your passion, to know absolutely what is in your heart, and measure your belief. And then, as you do things towards attaining your goal, remember to tick off some more validation and proof that you're actually getting there. Because when you believe, things happen. Magic happens. Look at all of you in this hall, all of us here today, being ignited. That's what we're doing. We're igniting each other's passion. What an absolutely amazing, glorious place to be. I thank all of you for being here today and for listening to my story, which I really hope has inspired you to believe in yourself, to believe in your dreams. Take imperfect action and watch the dream unfold. And then maybe next year you'd like to come back here, perhaps even on this stage, and tell your story and inspire others to be the best that they can be. Thank you.